All right, so disclaimer before we get started with this video, I kind of made this area. And basically what I'm going to try to do today is film a talking head video. I know what they're called. And we're just going to talk. I'm going to let you know a little bit about me, a little bit about why I have started my YouTube channel, why I, at 38 years old now, am deciding that I really want to give my art and my artistic view a real chance at success. And I wanted to go through some stuff with you guys. I appreciate anybody who is watching. I know there's hardly anybody right now, but again, I am not really worried in starting this YouTube channel to become a social person or a social influencer or content creator. That is more of a byproduct of what my end goal is, which is to be eventually a full-time artist and to help other, self-taught artists find their place out there, because there's a spot for everybody. And right now, I am in a place where I am exploring the creativity, enjoying the flow of the process that I've been letting myself get into, and I'm learning even more. 38 years old, still learning. You never stop learning. That's something I've always believed. So let's get started. All right, so a little bit about me. My name is Kaylee Johnson. I am located currently in the southern Ohio, northern, eastern, western Kentucky. Kentucky's actually a circle, if you didn't know. Even though it looks like a little rectangle, you can start in one place and you just end up right back where you were. So I don't know exactly where I'm at, but I know the city and I know how to get back and forth from my house to work and other cities. So that's all I need. But anyway, I am been transplanted. I was from Columbus originally. That's where I lived and grew up, in Columbus, Ohio. Go Bucks. And I basically have been down here for 17 years now, roughly. And I do not miss the traffic. I do miss the little bit of extra food places though, and some shopping. But other than that, I do love it down here. It's nice, quiet, a little slower pace, just not as many people to worry about. So how I got started in art, I've always enjoyed drawing, painting. I really didn't get into painting until after high school. So I guess starting out, I was mainly just enjoying sketching what was around me. I'm just going to hold this pencil because it's comforting. So if you see it moving around, it's just, it's me. I enjoyed drawing what was around me, and I basically just went with what I had, which was paper and pencil. For whatever reason, I started out with portrait drawing. I was always fascinated, still am, by just how different people are, their facial structures, their skin, their hair, their, just ethnicity, anything about the human form and face, I just find absolutely fascinating. I want to study it. I want to know the muscle structure. I want to be able to portray it in the picture that I'm drawing. I mean, veins, everything. So again, just obsessively working on drawing portraits. And my actual first, I guess I would say, successful venture into that was Victoria's Secret magazines. I would draw portraits. I'll see if I can find the 2 or 3 that I may have a picture of from where I started, and I'll put them in here now. But I basically just picked out a few of my favorite models. And those pictures in hindsight were actually really good to pick because they were super in focus. They were professional photography, and they were obviously focused on the beauty of the face and the body of the model. So it gave me a lot of reference pictures, and it just showed up every day to my house. So it was free and I had a ton of reference. So I have always worked a full-time job, and, I've never really taken art seriously as a career. And I pretty much just did drawings and paintings for friends. I did make a little bit of money here and there, but nothing that I would say would support, the actual work. And it was more of just my own obsession and joy of actually sitting down and just mentally zoning out. Some people go for a drive, and some people go for a run. I used to do that, not as much now. Some people exercise. There's lots of different ways that everybody has figured out, hopefully at this point, how to turn the brain off and just relax. And for me, I find when I am sitting down and I have a paper in front of me or a canvas, and I actually hit that flow stage, I mean, you could tell me that hours have gone by and I wouldn't have known. Sometimes I can tell I haven't even, blinked. I can tell like I've been opening my eyes for too long, and I kind of just woo. So, I do get very, very into that creative flow state. And it's kind of addicting, and that's pretty much my answer as to why I'm doing this. I just have always loved art, loved creating, and love, translating what I've run into in life and putting it down on paper in an inspiring way, not inspirating. I am at that stage in my life. I have a full-time job, which I love. I do get very fulfilled at work. But I just want to focus this next half of my life on exploring the other side of my brain that I never get to use. I'm very business oriented, very results driven, and focused when I'm at work. And when I get home or on my days off, I get to sit here and just melt. I guess the only other word I can think of to describe it. I just get to melt into whatever I'm doing, just release things, and not even tension, you know what I mean? Just things, depending on what I'm drawing. Sometimes it just brings forth emotions, that I didn't even know were there and they needed to come out. Just the other week, I was working on a commission for a relative whose dog passed away. And I'm drawing this dog, and I swear it's like, you just start getting connected to what you're translating onto the paper. You start getting connected to what you're drawing. This animal meant so much to someone else, and I have had animals pass away, or unfortunate things have happened, and I remember those feelings while I'm drawing this portrait for someone else. And it's just fascinating to me. I will never ever be at a lack of wonder about how awesome it is that emotions can come into play. And I think that's why true art will never go anywhere. AI is always talked about, at least even in my own family. They talk about how it's, taking over jobs, and I'm sure to some extent it is. But, a machine is never going to be able to, portray the emotions or even feel the emotions that led to someone wanting a piece of art. So that is why I feel comfortable going down this road now, even with all the new technology. Oh, it's my fingers now, not the pencil. Let me find it there. Okay, we have it back. What I wanted to do today, again, just kind of talk a little bit, get used to being on camera, because it's really, really weird to me. And I wanted to do a couple things. I'm going to go through my business planner. Like I said, I am very, business-minded, oriented. I enjoy numbers. And if I'm going to be successful, I feel like this time around, I need to focus on it as a business. My time is worth a certain amount of money when I work on anything. So if it is not bringing me joy or bringing me money, I need to prioritize a little better. And that is basically what I've decided I'm going to do for my business going forward this year. So I want to take you through the month of October, how that looked. And again, this is kind of in the learning stages, but how that looked to me. And we'll go over, just at the end here, a couple new things that I went through on the finishing up of Inktober. Super proud of that this year, so I want to go over that too. And I know a couple of you have been waiting, just like 2 or 3, have been waiting for the completion of a previous video. So with that being said, let me change this angle down and we'll get started. All right, so this is pretty much just a rough draft. I don't know if I'm going to stay with this format. I do like the calendar, but obviously I'm not doing a drawing challenge every single month, and that was the main reason for doing it this way this month. But I do have some ideas, but again, I digress. So let's talk about October. I already changed it out to be Inktober. So a couple of things that I did was set some intentions. I wanted to have a list of goals. That way I knew, what I wanted to focus on every time I opened this up. So those goals were complete at least 16 of the Inktober drawings. I already was enjoying working with ink for the first time and sketching with a pen. And now it is absolutely my favorite thing to do. But, so again, complete at least 16 Inktober drawings, improve my sketching and ink drawing. I wanted to set a goal of a minimum amount of hours. I did this because my normal 9-to-5 job is not really 9 to 5. It is more of a 48-hour week job. 48 to 50 hours a week is what I average. That is my time where I am not home, to basically focus on my art. So I wanted to set a goal for the month and it was a little lofty, but I was surprised at how easily I got to it. That I wanted to have 40 hours of work done either on art or on my business for my art. And I wanted to do one commission piece and complete it. I want to get my iPad fixed, which I think I've mentioned in a couple of my Instagram videos. It's part of what I want to finish up for this month with Inktober and the sketches that I did. So I need to get that done. That is still not done. I just need to take it to an Apple store, and I'm sure they'll do some kind of magic technical reset, and then it'll be fine. I want to do practice with watercolor, and I wanted to post weekly on YouTube. So let's see how I did on those goals. What I did was basically every single day, I wrote down what the prompt was in blue on every single day. And then I went back and I wanted to also track the time that I spent for the month. Obviously working on art, and Inktober is included in that. That's a daily sketch, so that is daily art that I did. I have the prompts all written in blue throughout the days, and then I have in green the amount of time that I spent on that day's prompt. Now I tracked this sometimes with a timer, but I also just basically looked at my starting picture. I like to take progress pictures. So a couple of these longer ones, I went from the first time of the timestamp on the progress picture, and then I went to the last one, and that was pretty much how I figured out how long it took me. And I also added in here, there's my YouTube days. I try to do it every Monday. You can see I actually did not do one this week, but then the next 3 weeks in a row, I did hit my goal. I made a video each day. I would say from start to finish, including creating the content for the YouTube videos that at least that I'm making for right now. It takes me about 3 hours, times less. There's days where I know exactly what I'm going to do. It's very simple, just watch me draw something and a voiceover. But days like today, it's going to take me a little longer to, get to that end result. But that is all fine and dandy because I'm loving the process. I put down what I did that day and how many hours I worked on it. And then I also put the commission that I worked on. That was actually very interesting, and I'll go into that too. But I documented how long it took me there. So just for the month of, or the challenge of Inktober, I did 27 out of the 31 drawings. And let's see, I would definitely say we improved on our sketching. So 40 hours to work on for art for the month or on the business. So what ended up happening physically, I spent 24 hours and 45 minutes on Inktober. I have the times, totals for the week listed out to the sides. Again, so for the total month, it was 24 hours, 45 minutes. And then that averages out to about 1 hour and 20 minutes a day, or 6 hours and 25 minutes weekly. I'm very happy with that, especially on something that is not going to bring me revenue. I let it take up just a little over half of what I wanted it to. Again, that's fine, and I will go through what I took away from this year's Inktober and what I'm going to continue working on and what inspired me from it. And then over here, you were basically looking at about 14 hours I have about 9 hours of creating content on YouTube. The commission I worked on was a 3-hour commission, and then I have some other works, a watercolor that I've included in here too, and just random little, for me moments of about 2 hours for the whole month. So you put that together, and that ends up being about 38.5 hours spent on art. So I'm almost to that goal of 40, but I'm extremely happy, like I said, with everything that I was able to get done this month and, where it ended up being. All right, so let's write down, at least for now, what my goals are for the month of November. The first one I want to do, I want to continue the 40-hour goal. I'm going to put 40 hours for the month again. Something that happened during Inktober, I realized that I really, really need to study perspective. I feel like I have a good handle on shading. I have a good handle on mapping out, a landscape or a face structure. But good Lord, when it came to something man-made like a building or architecture of any kind, which here I'll just show you. Okay, was this right here. So I was starting to get it, and I honestly, the only reason I feel like I messed up the background so much was because this building pissed me off so much. If I would have been able to get the perspective right, with the structure, the surrounding the structure, I mean, just everything about it, except for maybe this top part where you can kind of tell that there's like a little extended roof over top of the building. Besides that, I hate everything about it, and like I said, I just got upset and angry and threw a little tantrum over here, and that's where you can see the woods not being really woods, they're just lines, basically just anger lines is what we're going to call those aren't trees, those are just anger lines. So again, especially after that drawing there, I realized I needed to work on perspective. So that will be my focus. I'm going to try to draw either one building a day, or I thought too it might be fun just to do a Google Street Map video, and you can kind of push the car where you want it to go. I'm just going to go to random spots because for me that will be more entertaining. I love travel. I have goals to travel extensively while I still can. And I think that would be a little more fun than just me randomly, Googling buildings or architecture. So for right now, this is going to look a little blank. The only thing I have on here is this past Monday, I did mail out my commission. And I do want to talk about that. So let's come back up from this. So the commission piece that I did, I wanted to talk about it because I feel like this is something that I undervalued myself in for pretty much my entire career until literally right now. People would come to me in high school even and just say, hey, I would love for you to draw this for me. For my dad, it's a picture of my dog, it's a picture of my brother, my sister, someone's senior in high school. And the amount that I would even cringe to ask people to pay me to do it, makes me crazy right now. But you have to learn what your time is worth, what your skill is worth. Not only does that mean a lot to that person, now it means a lot to me too. And that's something that again, I'll always get high on that feeling. And I don't know what, I'm trying to recurl this little curl. She's just not listening. But it's okay, because we're just gonna, look, now you can't even see her. Okay, we're just gonna face this way and talk like this. But anyway, so this time, I did lower the amount that I charge for my time. Not a lot. It was still worth doing the picture, but something that I've learned is, okay, tell me what you would like to spend, and I will tell you what kind of art, what kind of piece I will make for that price. I'm not going to give you 4 days of my life for a $50 drawing. You know, that being said, there are $50 drawings. I gave a $50 drawing for this particular piece, and I'm sure it's going to go over great. You know, I'm happy with it. Is it something where artistically, did I have to stop myself, like literally take the pen from my hand and pencil from my hand and say, stop? You have invested the time required, and even a little more so, that you're going to be reimbursed for. And you know, it's just recently that it's fair in my mind to even say that, you know, out loud, or think it, you know, businessly to myself. Businessly, that's a new word. It's a struggle because you always want to just assume that these skills, you know, just because a machine can do it, you know, maybe they shouldn't be worth what they're worth, but it's just not the case. And as soon as you see that yourself, like I have, you know, I feel like more doors will open to you at that point, because if you spend all your life, you know, working on free items because they make you feel good and they make the other person feel good, but you're never reimbursed for your time, you know, you're never going to get that time back. You could have spent that time working on a whole series. You could have spent that time doing something that meant a lot to you, artistically. So again, just don't be afraid to charge for your time. And I am saying that to myself as well. All right, well, that ran a little longer than I planned on. I think I will save the rest of the Inktober sketches for a separate video. I kind of wanted to do a sketchbook tour anyway, because a few things happened on these last couple ones that I did that meant a lot to me, and I kind of want to go over them in more detail, and I don't want to talk your ear off. I'm all about the self-reflection right now. I'm not necessarily meditating, but you know, when you do sit down and create art, that's something that I kind of just naturally, you know, starts to happen. Hope you got something out of this video, even if it was just, you know, listening to me talk. If anybody has any suggestions, or, you know, not necessarily advice, but like, you know, how did you do it? Are you doing it? What stage of it are you at, as far as starting up your business? So hopefully we learn together and you all are interested in this kind of content, and I'll keep making it. But regardless, I'm going to keep making it and growing my business and my art. So hope y'all have a good day. Appreciate everyone for watching, and I will see you in another video. Bye. Oh, also, we figured out where the frizz is coming from. It's this. It's not letting any air in here, but the lighting, am I right? But the hair, am I right? Yeah, we'll figure that out. But again, that's what's happening. We'll fix that next time. Bye.